Good morning. This is the first, and I want to make sure of the date. This is the first satsang in December 2020, December 6th. And I was thinking of December 7th this morning because December 7th is the date of Pearl Harbor, which is a long time ago now. It's almost 70 years. And I had an uncle at Pearl Harbor in the U.S. Navy. And so it's always been especially significant to me since it was family, not just country and the world. That uncle survived. He survived the war and he lived to be almost 90, and which is fantastic. The world goes on, and so does all that is. With war or without, with peace or without, with everything that this entails. I'm going to be discussing mostly today the excerpts again from the writings of Ramana Maharshi, Thus Spake Ramana, and from the 2002 version published by Ramana Ashram. And a couple of them mean especially a lot to me, and I'll explain that as we go. But first, let's open with meditation. And let's sit up straight, close our eyes, relax, sit comfortably, but with our back straight. Focus on the breath, letting thoughts go. Set your timers for 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, however long you like. And when they come, when they ring, you can turn them off and turn this back on. So let's get ready and go ahead and turn this off and let's meditate. Welcome back. Today I have a Buddhist background, an Advaita background, and I have a Christian background, which is perfect for the Natural Right Sangha. I guess I could. Muslims don't like symbols so much, so it's hard to have a Muslim symbol. But we're open to everybody. And yes, it comes from the precepts that we're open to everyone except extremists. Extremists being the people that say only our way is right and only my way is right and my way is the best way and all the others don't work. Those people, no thank you. Because it's a well-known fact for anyone who looks that all the ways have worked for somebody at some time. And your way might be better for you than my way. So just because my way worked for me doesn't mean one or the other is better for the other person. Now, the precepts, those are good for everybody, I believe. That's why that is the big focus of the Natural Right Sangha. These precepts, if you live by those, it can help you in any belief system. And it fits, I believe, with any of the various isms that are out there, or ologies that are out there. And so to move forward now, our second set of excerpts from Thus Spake Ramana from Sri Ramana Ashram. And again, these come from Ramana Maharshi, who's right here above my finger. Pure consciousness is indivisible. It is without parts. It has no form and shape, no within and without. There is no right or left for it. Pure consciousness, which is the heart, includes all, and nothing is outside or apart from it. That is the ultimate truth. And to Ramana Maharshi, pure consciousness is what many people would call God, or the divine, or the indivisible, or consciousness, self, all that is. Ramana says, and this has been translated, he didn't say it in English, all religions postulate the three fundamentals, the world, the soul, and God. The one reality alone manifests itself as the three. One can say the three are indeed three only while the ego, the sense of small s self-identity, lasts. Therefore, to inhere in one's own being where the I, the ego, is gone, is the perfect state. Now, sometimes Ramana will use the word dead, like he'll say you need to kill the ego, or when the ego is dead, then you're awakened. And what he doesn't mean you kill it like shoot it with a gun. Okay, he means like kill it, like turn off the engine of the car. Someone says kill the car, you turn off the engine, you don't shoot it. This is how it's meant, okay? There's no murder involved of anything, but you cut the power to it, and you take away its strength, ability to do things over and with you. The next one. To one who is firmly established in the blissful natural state, beyond change, and therefore is not aware of difference, who does not think, I am one and he is another? Who is there for this person other than the self? If anyone says anything about him or her, what matters it? For him or her, it is just the same as if it was said by him or herself. You're ugly. I don't like your beard. You know, I don't like bald guys, or whatever it is. So what? Nisargadatta, in his famous book, I Am That, was quoted as saying almost exactly the same thing, which is no surprise. But he said, how can you, and it was also quoted by Ramesh in Lessons from Nisargadatta Maharaja. So what? Whatever is said, so what? The next one. Meditation requires an object to meditate upon, whereas in Vichara, V-I-C-H-A-R-A, Vichara or introspection, there is only the subject without the object. Meditation differs from Vichara in this way. Vichara is the process and goal also. I am is the goal and the final reality. Notice that in the Bible, they said, when the Lord was about to give Moses the Ten Commandments, Moses said, who are you? And he said, I am that I am. It's right there. I am that I am. That's it. I have a furry beast who's excited by my words and came up to get some pets. So I'm petting the rump of Kiki as I speak. Oh, well. I didn't name Kiki. That's a girl's name for a dog, but that's okay. It's a female dog. But, so I'm bum scrubbing as I speak here. Sorry about that. Okay, Kiki, let me be. Oh. Vichara is the process and goal also. I am is the goal, the final reality. To hold on to this pure being with effort is vichara. When it is spontaneous and natural, it is realization. This is huge. Okay, three important things here. Okay, three important things here. One, we start with meditating. But meditating requires an object. It requires a subject and object. I am wanting something. I am wanting peace of mind. I am wanting to become enlightened. I am wanting to become one with Shiva or Krishna or Jesus or whatever. I have a goal. Vichara is leaving the I behind and just being with all that is. The understanding becoming inherent that this and that is one. Me, her, him, the mountain, we're one. We're bubbles on the ocean, and we're different bubbles, but we're all the ocean. Excuse me for 5 seconds. Kiki has to go outside. Okay. Yeah. Kiki, come here. Come here. Come up here. Come up here. Come up here. Let the people see you. Come on. The people see you. Here's the Kiki. She doesn't like coming up like that. Okay, here we go. Come on, outside. Sorry about the interruption, but I hate to turn this thing off on Zoom because sometimes it goes off funny and I end up with a two-parter, and I don't want to do that to you. Rather just have one part you have to turn on. But this is the most important part of this to me today, maybe, is the fact that meditation leads to vichara, which leads to enlightenment. And you have these so-called teachers out there saying, meditation is bad, don't meditate, you don't need to meditate, you don't need to do anything. You know, it's all just happens, it's since you're all one, who are you to do anything and all this? And well, okay. If you're enlightened, you can maybe say that for yourself. But for the regular so-called being on the planet, we start with meditation, trying to do something, focusing on an object and trying to help this subject. And then it becomes vichara, which, again, is introspection. There is only the subject without the object, which means there is no subject or object. It's beyond that. The sought is the seeker, is the seeking. It's all the same thing. When you have to focus on this, that's vichara. When it just happens all the time naturally, that's realization. And once you're there, you're not in that sex, drugs, fame, power, and money dynamic that the teachers who've had hints of this realization, only hints, stay in while they become teachers, and then they mess up. Mess up being my subjective evaluation. Now, it is said, now here's the next one. It is said that the whole Vedanta, the whole teaching of Advaita within the so-called Eastern world can be compressed into 4 words: Deham, Naham, Koham, Soham. Deham is Naham. The body is not I. If one inquires, Koham, who am I? If one inquires whence this I springs out and realizes it, then the heart of such a one, the actual omnipresent God, the all that is, will shine as I, the big I, as Soham, meaning he will know that I am, that I am, that is I. Now, I heard about this years ago when I was in India. I asked a man I trusted very much, who was one of Ramesh Balsakar's most trusted confidants, and a wise fellow in his own way. His name was Murti. I asked Murti, what would be a great mantra? And he says, well, my favorite is Naham, Koham, Soham. And I said, what does that mean? And he said, it just means, who am I? I'm not the body. No, I'm not the body. Who am I? I am consciousness. And I went, Naham, Koham, Soham. Okay, cool. So at that year, I had purchased a motorcycle and was riding around northern India. I'm mostly with a wonderfully eccentric and happily mad Swedish fellow named Tony, who's a fantastic Tai Chi instructor and master of the I Ching and very spiritual in his own way, who's lived in India for many, many, many years and now is in Nepal because of the COVID problem, but hoping to come back to India when it opens up. Well, I would be going down the road in the rain, in the cold, maybe sweating from heat, maybe bumping. And I'd be going down there thinking, okay, I've got to get to this town, to spend the night. I got to get there so I can get there tomorrow, and have all these goals in my head about where to get to, and what to do. And I'd be going, Naham, Koham, Soham, Naham, Koham, Soham, Naham, Koham, Soham. And sometimes I was doing it so loud, not without realizing it, that I would see people smiling along the road as I went by. They knew what I was doing. These Indians loved it. This foreigner going by with a big Shiva painted on his gas tank, which normally they couldn't even see because I was going by too quickly, but singing Naham, Koham, Soham, because it is a fantastic mantra. Now, I asked one Swami I respect very much once, what if I, with my breaths, went Om, Soham, inhaled Om, exhaled Soham. And he said, well, basically you'd be saying the same thing twice, but that would be just great. All right. Mantras are supposed to be given by someone of high spiritual standing and things like this, but I believe they can help you if they resonate in your heart and you use a mantra. It'll definitely be of service. It's a lot better having Naham, Koham, Soham on your mind than, God, I wish I hadn't lost so much air, or or whatever else. Yeah. Or geez, I wish the traffic were a bit better right now. All right, so let's stop there with the sayings this week. Please remember Vichara, meditation, moving to Vichara, moving to realization. And pity the poor people that are told not to meditate, because oftentimes that'll keep them from coming to the Vichara state. And Naham, Koham, Soham. Okay, so let's do the four immeasurables. Please repeat for the I first, for the small I. May I have happiness and the causes of happiness. May I be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May I never be separate from the happiness that is free of sorrow. May I reside in equanimity, free of attachment and aversion. And now, as usual, for the we. The we is your choice. You and whoever else you want, whatever sentient beings, people you love, people you dislike, people you wish were doing, quote, better by your reckoning. Animals, plants, sentient beings, the whole planet, the whole universe, whatever you wish. We. Okay, so let's do the four immeasurables for the we now. May we have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May we never be separate from the happiness that is free of sorrow. May we reside in equanimity, free of attachment and aversion. Have a happy December or whatever month you're in when you watch this thing, and blessings.